Freddie Prinze Jr. has announced on his podcast, Wrestling with Freddie, that he intends to start his own wrestling promotion. Check out this clip.
One of my dreams, which is now a plan, was to start my own small little indie wrestling federation. I think I want to start it as a 2-hour show. I want my storylines based in reality. I want to give the women and the men equal time on the roster. And then the goal is to bring the show to television, and I want it to be a SAG show. And what that means is I want it to be a union show, which would mean each and every single one of my wrestlers would be a member of the Screen Actors Guild and be entitled to all the insurance and medical benefits and retirement plans that entails. So I plan on having this thing up and running in 18 months. That's my plan.
I'm all fucking for it, to be honest with you. First of all, I really like Freddie. I think he's got a good mind for the business from a creative aspect. He's already said flat out that he's going to hire a booker. So he's not going to go in and try to, be Dusty Rhodes or anything like that. But he is going to contribute on the creative end. So he's going to be a writer for a wrestling fed, just like he was in the WWE without having to do the WWE schedule and Vince McMahon and be away from his kids and all of that kind of stuff. The dude loves wrestling. He has a passion for it. He's smart. He's cool as fuck. He seems like a great guy. You know, he has like zero ego. He's very friendly and outgoing and warm. He's super well connected in Hollywood, despite not really being in a lot of movies lately. He's does a lot of writing. He does a lot of ghost writing and shit like that. So he is a presence in Hollywood, and that's a big thing too. And that's where he's going to run his promotion. It's going to be on the West Coast. He's not sure of a name yet. He had said that he liked West Coast wrestling, but there's already been a WCW. So he's even soliciting, hey, if you got an idea for what would be a cool name, send it to me. The idea is he's going to have enough funding right at the upstart to last him 3 years. His initial plan, he said, was for 2 years. Now he has enough for 3, or he plans to start the company with enough to run the company in the red, not make a fucking penny of profit off of anything for 3 years before he has to sit back and rethink about his life choices. He's going to buy a building outright after looking at rental costs in the area of buildings in California where he wants to run. He decided, fuck it, I'm just going to buy my own building, which is also super smart. You don't have to deal with buildings availability or just dicking around with the management of the building facility itself or whatever. You got your own insurance and everything like that. Plus, you own the property, so you can just sell it if the company ever folds or you want to upgrade or whatever the case may be. You can sell your facility. He's already bought a lighting rig, he said. So he's already got the production value, and he wants to make it a high-value production. He wants to be very aware of the lighting and the cameras and the spectacle of it. He's not going to run a cheap little dark, dingy, smoky indie fed. He said he already bought a huge lighting structure, which was very expensive. He's going into this all in. But the biggest thing, I think, is the SAG. He wants all the wrestlers to be a part of the Screen Actors Guild and get the benefits of being a part of that union, which would include the insurance and fair rates and wages and working hours and all of that stuff. Now, if Freddie's able to pull that part of this off and he is able to get a group of wrestlers unionized, that's going to change the game. Whether WWE or AEW, once wrestlers get a taste of being unionized and once the entertainment business, Hollywood, gets a whiff of wrestlers being in the Screen Actors Guild, things will change rapidly. And Freddie even said on this show, that on this episode of the podcast, that he believes that as soon as WWE sells, because he knows that under current management with Vince, obviously, and then even if it was passed down to, say, a Triple H, that nothing would change as far as the way the WWE is run currently. But he's even vouching for, if WWE sells, whoever buys it, all the wrestlers should just strike right away and force that new owner to join a union of some kind, Screen Actors Guild or what have you. He mentioned that the Teamsters were interested in wrestling at some point too during his talk. So a lot of big ideas from Freddie Prinze, and just like Billy Corgan to the music industry, Freddie Prinze Jr. to Hollywood. This is a big deal. He's not a Joe Schmo nobody trying to start a fed like me when I ran a fed and had fucking anywhere from 200 people to fucking 12 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know with an indie fed. Freddie Prinze is not going to be that. He's not a schmuck. He's a big time Hollywood guy with big time Hollywood money, big time Hollywood connections, big time Hollywood ideas, and a love for wrestling. And this is one of the other cool things. And I hope people aren't hating on Freddie because, oh, the fucking writer Hollywood guy is going to start a fed. I hope people aren't doing that. I hope people are on board for this because, one, we need wrestlers to have lots of other places they can work. And if Freddie can build an independent promotion on the scale, at the very least, on the scale of GCW, which let me tell you, is not going to be hard for Freddie Prinze Jr. GCW draws huge crowds, but they don't have a huge running budget. You know, they are a shoestring indie operation that's making tons of fucking money, don't get me wrong. But, you know, look at their production value and that sort of thing. Freddie's going to start with his own building, all the lighting, all the fucking production, cameras, screens. He's going to have these guys in the Screen Actors Guild. This federation is going to be a big fucking deal. It's at least going to be as big as GCW. It could end up being on the scale of an Impact or a Ring of Honor at some point, depending on what's going to actually happen with Ring of Honor here in the coming year or two. This is huge. I hope you guys are on board with it. I'm on board with it. I have a lot of faith in Freddie. I have faith. Everything he said sounds good to me. Right down to him hiring a separate booker to book his shit. He wants to do equal time, 50-50 between the men and the women. I know there's a lot of people that still do not like women's wrestling out there. It'll be interesting to see how he makes that work and who he uses and who's available to him as talents when he goes to run that promotion. This could be on an MLW level easily. He's going to be looking for a TV deal at some point with this thing. Just let me fucking tell you, this is a big deal, and anybody who thinks it's not or is brushing Freddie off, you just don't get it. He's going in with a fucking brilliant business plan, and he's got Hollywood partners. This is not just going to be Freddie Prinze Jr. wrestling for the most part, but he also kind of mentioned in, I think, another podcast, it might have been this one, but I think it was one he was doing with maybe Matt Cardona or something like that. But he was talking about how Rory Culkin is also a huge wrestling mark, and that's one of his good friends, and that's like his wrestling buddy, you know, one of his wrestling buddies in Hollywood where they get together and they watch wrestling together and they talk wrestling. And sounds like Rory is going to be an investor in this as well. Rory is well connected in Hollywood. He's out there working. He does a lot of shit. This is going to be big. A bunch of Hollywood actors getting together to start a fed on the West Coast. Great location, big city, lots of things happening in Hollywood, lots of big stars. You remember fucking PWG was huge when that was running. It's a great location. It's just Can't say enough good things about the potential for this and just everything that he said, and what a game changer it's going to be on so many levels. I highly recommend, I can go on and on and on about it, but get the details from Freddie Prinze Jr. Highly recommend. Go listen to his podcast. It's called Wrestling with Freddie, and he's going to just lay it all out for you step by step, his whole fucking plan all the way through, and I am looking forward to it, and I hope he succeeds.
Let me tell you something, brother. You can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on this channel, dude. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to take your vitamins and say your prayers, brother.